and I cannot believe what my sister just found.
Give me a drum roll, please. It's a 1957 Denver wheat ender. Can't you believe that? That is so cool.
And I love it.
All right, and this is TJ with Robinhood Coins, and I have my little helpers here. We're hunting 2 boxes of pennies, and my little helper found that wheat ender. So hopefully we have a lot more Wheaties on the inside to add to our collections, and something really good for the Robinhood Coins giveaway for this video. As always, if you want to enter the giveaway, just comment on the video, and we'll use a random comment picker to pick the winner. With that, let's get into these rolls.
And here's the 1957 Denver.
That's our Wheatie number 1 on the board. Good job.
Thanks.
I am working on my first roll, which is the 3rd roll of the box, and I found a Wheatie. Let's see what it is. It's a 1957 Denver, just like the one my little helper found. We have 2 of those, but that is great. 2 Wheaties on the board in 3 rolls. We'll take it. We're on roll number 10, and we have another Wheatie. Let's see what it is. It's a 1926. Look at that. And it's very faint. I hope you can see it, but it looks like there's a Denver mint mark as well. I'll have to check that under the scope later, but man, that is great. We do not get teens and 20s very often. Got to love that. We've also had 3 2009s. Each of my little helper has gotten a 2009 over the past couple of rolls before they had to go to bed. And we had this 1972 with a lot of luster on it. And we had 1973 San Francisco. Got to love that. All right, I am on roll number 12, and we have another Wheatie. And let's see what it is. It's a 1950 Denver. Got to love that. That is cool. And that makes Wheatie number 4. I am still working on that same roll, roll number 12, and it looks like we have another Wheatie. Here it is on the back, but man, the date is really hard to make out. I believe it is a 1942 San Francisco. Just from the angle, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but outside of the camera, it looks like it's a 1942 San Francisco. So not key date or anything. Good thing too because of the condition. We also had a 2009 a couple rolls ago, so throw that on there. I'm on roll 13, the very next roll, and the second to last coin is a super slicked out 1934. Look at that. But it's a Wheatie nonetheless. That is cool. And another oldie. 20s and 30s now. We're on roll number 16, and we have a 1944 Wheatie right there from Philadelphia. And then also over the past couple of rolls, we had a nice looking 2009 Birth and Early Childhood. Nice condition there. And a pretty nice 1973 Denver as well. Don't usually see them in that condition. So I found these 2 interesting coins. I just wanted to show you real quick. It looks like there's excess material on it, almost like when you're painting and you get a glob of extra material or extra paint. That's what it looks all over this coin in the fields. And the biggest spot is right here. And you can look at it in a couple of different angles. It is actually raised material. And it really does look like they painted the coin with copper and they put too much paint or copper right there on the outer layer. I believe these zinc pennies have an outer layer of copper. And then this 2018 right here, it almost looks like there's drops of the metal that made it sprayed onto it after the penny was all finalized. And it's just almost looks like water bubbles or like bubbles, air bubbles. But I tried scratching them off and they don't scratch off, whatever they are. It may be foreign debris on the coin post mint, but I mean, certain parts, like right here, it looks very much like the metal of the 18 and then the D right there. And it's all over the coin. And again, I tried to scratch it off and it wouldn't scratch off. So I thought it was interesting. I figured I'd share. Roll number 20 is going to give us another Wheatie. Let's see what it is. And it's a 1957, this time from Philadelphia. Got to love that. It's a little scratched up on the back though. But still, it's a Wheatie. And that makes number 8 on the board. We're on roll number 30 and we have another Wheatie. And it looks a little old again. Let's see. It's another 1944 Philadelphia. Not as old as I was hoping, but we will take it. Wheatie number 9. The very next roll, and we have another Wheatie, and this one does look a little older. Let's see. Again, another 1944. Holy cow, it's a third 1944 Philadelphia. We also, over the past several rolls, have had a bunch more 2009s to add to the pile. And we had this really nice looking 1979. So we'll keep on looking. Roll number 33, and we have another Wheatie, and this time it's gonna have a little luster left on it. It was obverse up, 1955 Denver, but it's a Wheatie with a little bit of luster. That is great. Unfortunately, I don't get them very often with luster, so that's really cool to get that. Working on roll number 35, and we have another Wheatie. This is gonna be Wheatie number 12. It was reverse up. So let's do the reveal together, and it's a 1949 Denver. Not very old, pretty common, but we will take it. Wheatie number 12. I am working on that same roll, and my wife just handed me this Canadian right here. Or at least I believe it's a Canadian. Yep, 2005. Little worn and beat up, but you know what? We will take it. Add it to the foreign pile. I am on roll 39 and this is crazy. We have a 1929. Not that a 1929 Philadelphia is super rare or anything, but that's the second 20s, and we even had a 30s in this box, and that's way more than I normally get. So that's very cool. That is Wheatie number 13, and I think my record is 15, and we still have 11 more rolls to go. Also, over the past couple of rolls, we had this pretty nice looking 1972. I know it's not that old, but I don't usually see them like that, so I figured I'd share. And a 1974 San Francisco, which out of the later years San Franciscos, the 74 is kind of hard for me to get. We are on roll number 45, and we have another Wheatie. This one looks a little younger, but let's see. And it's a 1942 Denver. I figured it was either 40s or 50s. It just didn't look as old. You know what? We will take it. That is Wheatie number 14. And we still have the rest of this roll and 5 more to go. I'm on roll number 50 of box number 1. I'm about halfway done. And I couldn't help but notice we have a Canadian right there. So here it is. It's a 1989 Canadian right there. Decent shape. All right, that's a second foreign of the box, and I normally don't get 2 foreigns in a box. I am working on roll number 3 in box number 2, and we already have our first Wheatie of the box. It looks like it could be a little old. Nope, it's a 1945 Denver. Not that old at all, but we will take it on the board after just 3 rolls. The very next roll, roll number 4 of box number 2, and we have another Wheatie. Let's see what it is. It's a 1956 Denver. Got to love it. Roll 4, Wheatie number 2. I'll take it. I'm on roll number 7, and we have another Wheatie. This one looks a little dirty, but let's see what it is. It's a 1945 plain. We will take the third Wheatie on the board all day long. And I also had over the last couple of rolls this 1970 San Francisco with a lot of luster still left on it. A lot of the steps still very visible. Again, it's not rare or anything like that, but I don't usually find them like that, so I figured I'd share. All right, I am working on roll number 14 of the second box, and we have another Wheatie. And this time, it's a 1951 San Francisco. Got to love finding a San Francisco. I'll have to check that in the red book. It's probably pretty common because it's in the 50s, but we'll check it anyway, and that is Wheatie number 4. I'm working on roll number 19, and we have Wheatie number 5. It was obverse up, so I know that it's a 1941 Denver, but it's still a 40s Wheatie. We will be happy with that. And it's number 5. Also, we had a 1959 Denver a little bit ago. Don't get those very often. And we had, this is something that I do not get very often at all. It's a 2009 Philadelphia Presidential Life. And look at this condition. This is not something I get very often. Definitely going to save that one. I really save all the presidentials that I find unless they're in really ratty condition because I don't come across them very often. I'm working on roll 23 and we have another Wheatie. This time it's a 1948 Denver. I think that's the first 48 Denver of the hunt. And that makes Wheatie number 6. Also, over the past couple of rolls, we had this 1973 San Francisco, and out of the 68 through 74 San Franciscos, I believe this is the one that I have the least of, so that's very cool. Wow, that same roll gave us a 1945 Philadelphia. It's a common and it was face up, but still very cool. That takes us all the way to Wheatie number 7, and we are still working on roll 23. I'm on roll 43, and we have another Wheatie. It has a little bit of the luster still left on it. It was obverse up. It's a 1954 Philadelphia. Got to love that. That is nice because I don't usually get them with any luster. So happy to get some with a little bit of luster on it. The very next roll, roll 44, and we have another Wheatie obverse up. So it's a 1956 Denver. Decent shape, but common 50s. We will take it. That makes Wheatie number 9. Well, we're all done hunting box number 2, so now it's time for the second hunt, because these are all the coins that we set aside from box 1 and from box 2, and now it's time to hunt through these to look for some errors. Well, we went through all of those coins looking for errors, and unfortunately we didn't find any. But that's how it goes with pennies. I still have not found any errors in all the pennies that I've looked through. But here's the overall wrap up, and these boxes really produced a lot of Wheaties and a lot of good finds. So we'll start off with the 2009s. We had a total of 32 2009s, including 6 of the Presidential Life, and I rarely get these, maybe 1 or 2 a box. And I got this Presidential Life, really nice 2009 Philadelphia. Got to love that. I do not have very many of those, if any, besides that one in Philadelphia. So that is really cool. And we had at least one really nice quality out of each of the designs. Take a look at that birth and early childhood. So that was really cool. And then we had a total of 8 of the modern years San Francisco, including this 1970 San Francisco with a lot of luster and steps. So that's really cool. The first box had a total of 14 Wheaties, and the best, or the oldest anyway, was this 1926 Denver. Hopefully you can see that mint mark. It is there. I checked with the scope, and that is really cool. It's 28 million minted, so it's not a low mintage, but that was also 93 years ago. So that is really cool find. We had a 1929 as well as a 1934. A bunch of common 40s and a bunch of common 50s. And then in the second box, it was all common 40s and 50s, but we did get this 1954 with some luster on it. That will probably go good in my album or maybe one of the girls' albums. We had a couple of the 1959 Denvers, and then we had two foreigns. The best one was this 1989 Canadian right there. So overall, really happy with that hunt. It was fun. Well, the Robinhood coins giveaway for this video is going to be this Whitman folder. It's Lincoln Cents 1941 through 1974. And we've already gotten it started off with a couple Wheaties from the 40s, a Wheatie from the 50s, and a 1959. So as always, to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is comment on the video and we'll use a random comment picker to pick the winner. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the hunt as much as we did. It was a lot of fun. If so, smash that like button. It really helps the channel. If you like our content, hit subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos or giveaways. And with that, we will see you on the next hunt.